Hello everyone. We have to start the paper first in last unit, that is the PLA and the PAL designings. Then what is the PLA and the PLE designs? That is a programmable logic array and the programmable logic array and the programming array logics. Now first is the programmable logic array is the massive functions that can be implemented by the PLA. In the PLA, it is the parts of building blocks of, there are the two gates, that is the AND gates and OR gates, that is also called as or also used in these basic gates, that is the NOR gates and the NAND gates, that is making the functions of these connections of gates, that is the PLA. Then this is the general purpose logic building blocks, it is used in these functions of PLA. It is the higher lower speed other than the PALs. Then this is the block diagram of PLA. Then this is first block diagrams, that is the inputs parts, and dense to the array of AND gates, then product of these functions, that is the or by using OR gates, and then the outputs of PLA. Now PLA and the PAL, it is the designing the logic circuits that can be using by the small scale integrations components like as the logic gates and the multiplexers, demultiplexers, FETs. But now the PLD can replace all these the small scale integrations components we used. That is reason for to decrease the small scale integrations industry as compared to with the PLDs, and this is used to the several applications of programmable logic device. It is kind of the implementations logic circuits, it is used in the logic parts that is modified in the several waves. And the PLDs, it is like as the black box, it consists of the programmable switches that is modified in the several ways, that is the PLD is look like, and the black box that can be consist of the programmable devices. These devices PLDs are, there are the two different parts, that is the PLA and the PAL functions. Now the PLA and the PLEs, it is the types of PLDs. Then the a programmable logic device, it is the functions of these parts. It is the definitions for the PLA, it represents the Boolean functions, and it is the sum of products, that is SOP. This designing of this programmable logic array, it can be done by using the logic gates like as the AND gate, OR gate and the NOT gate by fabricating the chips that makes every input as well as its complement obtainable towards the AND gates, and every AND gates output is connected to the every OR gates. It is finally for that the output of OR gate, it generates the output of chip. This is appropriate association with the use of expressions, that is sum of the products, and programmable logic array, the connections of these logic gates like as the AND gate or the OR are programmable devices. The PLE, it is the expensive and the difficult to compare with the PAL, that is the programmable array logics. Then this is used in the every connections can be done by using the fuse on each intersections point. Then it is in unnecessary connections that can be used by the fuse blowing. The final techniques of the engage to making the connections while the process of fabrications by using the suitable covers and the interconnections models. This is the working of this PLA. This is the circuit diagram for PLA, that is by using the AND gate or the and OR gates. Then this is Boolean expression with the help of PLA, that is the equations we can write here by using the AND gate and the OR gates. Then this is given to the two Boolean functions are in the SOP form, that is the sum of products. These product terms it is present in the Boolean expressions are the X and Y conditions. And the one product term it is the, that is the AC and the one common in every equation, so that the total logic gates for generating these functions it is about the two equations, that is a four AND gates are used and the two OR gates are used in the programmable devices. These AND gates which is the programmable have the right of the entry. It is normal as well as the complemented variable inputs. In the above logic diagrams, available inputs for each AND gates, that is called as the x1 x2 x3, that is the inputs, that is the AND gates inputs are available in the x1 x1 dash y1 y1 dash y3 and sorry x3 x3 dash. This is the, in order to generate this the single product terms with the every AND gates the program is required. All the product term it is obtained by the inputs of each OR gates, that is the programmable connections on the logic gates can be denoted with the symbol of the J1 and the J2. Now this is also circuit diagram for the by using the AND gate and the OR gates are used in the PLA designing. Now, designing of these functions of the PLA, it is the equations we can write here. F0 is equal to A plus B dash C dash. F1 is equal to AC dash plus AB. F2, that there is the four outputs, that is the F0, F1, F2 and the F3 by using the OR gates. Then there as the inputs it is 1 and 0. Outside these functions of by using the kmap, then find out these equation four equations, that is called as the f0 f1 and f2 and the f3. Now this is circuit diagram by using the and OR gates. These equations f0 f1 f2 f3 this is the outputs and their ABC this is the inputs. We can write here the kmaf and find out these four equations, then draw the circuit diagrams of PLA. Now this is constants. Constant means synthesis of the PLA output it must be programmed and constant it is 1 or 0 conditions. These 1 and 0 conditions, that is the constant terms, it drives the output of functions, and no product terms it drives the O2 output, which is therefore the always 0 conditions. Then another methods of the obtaining constant 0 output is shown in the O3 equations, that is O1, O2 and the O3s. Now for example BCD to gray code converters. Now here the table given here, then find out the equations by using the kmap. Then these kmap are used in the four equations. Then W, X, Y and Z we can write here, and these equations mentioned by these diagrams, that is the four product terms by using OR gates equations. Then second part is the PAL. Now PAL is the programmable array logic. This is the type of PLDs which is known as the programmable logic device circuits. This is the working for the PAL is the same as that of the PLA. The designing of the programmable array logics can be done with fixed OR gates as well as the programmable AND gates. By using this, we can implement two easy functions whereas the associates AND gates with each OR gate by denotes the highest number of products conditions that can be produced in the form of SOP, that is the sum of product functions. This logic gates like as the AND gate is connected continually towards the OR gates, and that indicates that the produced product terms is not distributed with the output functions. This is the major notions behind the PLD development is to be fabricated a compound boolean logic onto the single chip by removing the defective wirings. It avoids to the logic designs as well as decreasing the consumptions of power logics. Then implement by the boolean expressions by with the help of programmable array logics, that is a x and y functions we can write in the these parts by using and OR gates. That is there are the four outputs and only functions with the product can be implemented here. Now this is the given to the boolean functions are in the SOP forms. This is the product terms present in the boolean expressions are x and y, and the one product term that is the AC is common in every equation, so that the total required logic gates for generating the about these equations is 4 AND gates and 1 OR gates are used in the equivalent PAL logic diagrams. Now these AND gates which is programmable have the right entry for normals as well as the complemented variable inputs. In the above logic diagrams, available inputs for each AND gates are the A dash, B B dash, C C dash and the D D dash. In order to generate this single product term with every AND gates, the program is required all the product terms can be obtainable at the inputs of each OR gates. Here the programmable connections on the logic gates can be noted by the single functions like as the x, w, x and y. These OR gates inputs are fixed, that is the required product terms are associated with the each OR gates inputs. As a result for these functions, the gate will be generated particular boolean equations, that is the represents the permanent connections by the dot conditions used in the parts. Now this is the logic diagram for the PALs. Then there is the IO input pins output control get it produced by the constant one, that is the output is always enabled but the pin may still be used as the input too. This is the outputs can be used to generate the first pass helper terms for the logic functions perform in the single pass with a limited number of AND gate terms available for the single outputs. Now next is the ROM, that is the read only memory. The read only memory it is used in the computers, and if the data refers to the computer memory chips, it is containing the permanent or the semi-permanent data. These store in the computer memory, that is in the refer to as every computer comes in the small amount of RAM containing the boot fireware. There is a consist of few kilobytes of code that tell the computer what to do when it starts up. ROM is actually the read only. To update the programs in ROM, you had to remove the physically replace your ROM chips. It is the version for ROM. It allows the limited rewriting, so you can usually upgrade FireMom the programs that is a rom. It is includes in the PROMs, that is a programmable read only memory, erasable read only memory, electrically erasable read only memory, and the common variations of the EPROMs that is called as the flash memories. This is the ROM. Then it is used in the decoders also, or gate also. SOP terms that is used in the digital parts are used in the ROM memory. That is in the store the data by using the modified these functions, and the Boolean equations are used. Then this is the logic diagram of ROMs that is used in the decoder. Then ROM versus PAL and PLA, that is the inputs are used, that is ROM is the fixed and array, and programmable or array outputs. Inputs, it is denotes here the PAL, PROM and the PLA functions. Now this is the examples for the PAL and the ROM functions. That is, there are the four outputs used in the inputs, that is the decoder, 3 to 8 decoders. There are the three inputs and eight outputs. By used the functions, and then draw these logic diagrams by using these three functions. Now, RAM is the memory for the read-only memories, and the programmable read-only memories have the n number of input lines, m number of output lines, and the second decoder min terms that is used in the memory and the inputs parts. It is addressable data outputs variable, since the ROM and the PROM names are used these functions. Now RAM is the volatile memory, that is access memory for the there are the two main parts, that is the static and the dynamic. Static, that is the SRAM, and dynamic, it is called as the DRAM. Non-volatile memory, that is the ROM, that is the mask programmable memory. EPROM, that is the electrical programmable. EPROM, that is the electrically erasable, electrically programmable. And the last one is the flash memory. It is similar to the EPROM with the programmable integrating on the chips. Now ROM is the memory, that is the 8 by 4 ROMs are used in the, and the output functions, input functions are declared here. Then we have to draw the circuit logic diagrams of there are the three inputs and the 8 that is used in the 3 to 8 decoder, and four outputs F0, F1, F2 and F3s. This is the designing for BCD to 7 segment display controllers are used in the functions. Then standard device for the PGMs, EPROMs are used in the parts of these functions.